But you can kind of see the terrain that we were working with, right? So
Yeah.
we wanted to punch right through to the lake, and this goes all the way up to Angle.
Right. So we're standing on a fire break right now. This one is at the end of Grace Lake Boulevard on Yellowknife's southern edge. And it's an example of one of about 10 fire breaks that are surrounding the city. Chris, can you tell me what the plan is for this break and the other fire breaks around the city in the future?
Sure. Well, right now we're in planning stages for what we envision on the final, I guess, resting piece or final envisioning of the Yellowknife fire break system to be. Obviously, we're planning and expanding on ideas such as recreational walking trails, skidoo trails, ATV trails, whatever that can be used for. We're lucky enough to have this piece of infrastructure now, and we want to maintain it to a level, or our attempt to maintain it to a level that can be usable for the community, not only for wildfire defense mechanisms, but also those recreational uses that I just spoke about.
So what are some of the things that the city is going to need to consider as it works on figuring out that long-term plan?
Sure, just what the city can afford under current budgets, what that might look like if there is increased budgets. Obviously, we have to bring these ideas back to City Council to get their blessing and get their approvals on things. We'll be looking at things on what's required for maintenance on those things in the future, how much it's going to be, is it done with current resources, would it be contracted resources, and the level of finishing that's required to do those activities. So all in all, we're not putting anything off the table. We're exploring all options, and obviously if you look around, there's still a lot of cleanup work to do, so we still have to take that into consideration, and that work will be continuing through the winter and through next spring.
What, depending on what the plan is, what could maintenance end up looking like for a fire break like this?
Sure, I think maintenance will end up on what the final, I guess, activity and use would be of the fire breaks, other than a fire break, of course. So if it's just, if it's to say natural infrastructure and be a natural trail, hiking trail, then the maintenance requirements are obviously a little bit less. We'll be looking at keeping it probably free and clear of major tree vegetation, but maybe looking at drought-resistant, low-lying brush that still revegetates the area and keeps it natural, but also doesn't allow it to become overgrown again.
When is the city going to start having a more meaningful discussion about this?
I would say the talks are beginning now, but we're still reeling a little bit from the wildfire itself and 2023 as a whole. So I think those conversations will continue in the winter, and engaging with City Council and how they want to approach it, and probably will come up during budget deliberations, which are also pushed back until February. So 2023 has thrown us a few curveballs and put us behind schedule a bit, but those conversations are starting now, and we're doing envisioning exercises and what that's going to look like and how to maintain this infrastructure now that we have it, and that a lot of communities wish they had. So yeah, we're constantly talking about those things, but we're trying to get all our ducks in a row before we come forward with any concrete ideas, I suppose, for the public to consume.
And then, of course, depending on water levels and just the conditions that we see next summer, we might still need this to act as a fire break, right?
For sure. It's a little early to speak to that, but we have seen some early predictions about the winter, the snow cover, what the spring is going to look like, and I believe experts are, you can fact check me on this, but I believe experts are calling for another dry spring, a quick melt, more dry conditions. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we don't have to use these in the same manner that they were built for. But yeah, we'll see how this spring melt goes and the early days of next spring, summer.
Okay, Chris, thank you for talking to us about this.
Yeah, anytime.